All right. Shalom, Israel. This is your host, Yasharal Judah, and this is the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. And the date is August 26th, on the day that the Greeks call Thursday. This is going to be a special broadcast. This is actually episode number 24. And we have a special guest, which is actually coming back home. Eliyahu Yasharal, and he is going to come and give us some information on how we can survive in Jacob's time of trouble. So before he gets started, I want to roll this little clip right here, something that we're all familiar with. And then after that clip, we're going to turn it right over to Eliyahu.
What the hell are you doing out here, Fred? What the hell are you? No! 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 What the hell are you doing out here, Fred? How did you get out here? Fred, if you're real, you better tell me right now. If you're real, you better tell me right now. Damn it, Fred! Damn it!
All right. Let me read this. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, 24 through 32. This is what you got on your screen. It says that there should be no man left to till the earth and sow it. The trees should give fruit, and who should gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So that one man should desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For a city, there should be 10 left, 2 to a field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. And as an orchard of olives upon every tree, there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with swords. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and her path shall grow full of thorns. Eliyahu, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, talk to me, man. Seem like I'm getting some interference, man. I'm on this road, so periodically we may.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, that's good, man. But yeah, this is the reason why we brought you on, man. And I use that as a clip because most of us are familiar with that movie, right? And the thing is that so many people watch movies for entertainment, but what they don't realize is that these movies be peeping game on the days that are to come. I know that you have been studying this here for a long time, man, and just what I got, right? And I'm going to turn it over to you, but just what I got at least 4 major categories in how we can survive in Jacob's trouble. And this is also a show for the people as well, right? This is going to be some vital information for you guys in order for you, things that you need to think about, take notes, write these things down, what the brother is going to present to us. try to make sacrifice and to get a lot of the things that you can get. We know that we can't get all of it, but food, shelter, protection, and communication is going to be some of the most vital things that we can make sure that we'll be able to do in these days that are coming ahead of us. As I always say, we're living in the best of the worst of times right now. So Eliyahu, without further ado, man, go ahead and put some game on us, man, on some of the information that you know, and the things that we need to do, things that we may need to buy, and things that we need to look forward to, brother. It's on you.
Right on. Well, to start it off, man, I would have to say that before we can even do any of that, prepping is a mindset or being prepared. I don't want to say prepping because a lot of times negative connotation on prepping, right? Which is nothing more than being prepared. You did. So, like I said, man, this is really about a mindset. A lot of us are consumed with it. If that's the correct word I want to use, but um, when you are consumed with something, it becomes a lifestyle. You feel me? So let's just jump into it, man. Because I do want to dispel some of the myths. Because a lot of people think that to be a prepper or to prep makes you a kook. You know what I'm saying? Or extremist. But it's no different than um, a woman meal prepping for the week, right? Or you going out of town and making sure you got your jumper cables in the trunk, right? It's the same. It's the same mindset. Um, I think the biggest thing we have to question ourselves is what are we preparing for? Um, preparing for a nationwide blackout, you know, for a week? Are we preparing for another hurricane to hit? Or are we preparing for the long run? Are we preparing to teach our children how to take on this mindset? Feel what I'm saying? So, um, me, myself, my family, and the people that I deal with, we are preparing for the worst case scenario. You know, similar to the clip with Will Smith or whatever these movies are that you see, where everything has the system that we know has ceased to exist. So we're forced to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. That's what I'm trying to get my family prepared for. So in preparing, man, now this is just me. You know, you have a plethora of people on YouTube um, who are so-called preppers, right? I'm just a realist, but these are the areas that I think that everyone needs to concentrate on when it comes to being prepared or being a survivalist, right? One, I think that you mentioned one of these was food, right? And let me just go through the list and then I'll come back, try to briefly run through each area. So we have food, we have water, we have shelter, we have communications, we have defense, we also have travel, we have network, we have strategies, and we have knowledge. Now, knowledge is not one, but knowledge is that's gonna be that covers all of them because regardless if you have the tools or whatever, you're still gonna need the knowledge. That knowledge is that's gonna be the driving force for the survival. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so let's start off with food.
Well, hold up. I think
Food
I missed one. Hold up, right
in
quick. I think I missed
okay,
one because I want to keep up
okay,
with you
okay,
myself. I got food, water, shelter,
okay.
communication, travel, and knowledge. Did I miss one?
Defense.
Okay, protection. That's okay then. Gotcha. Defense.
Yeah,
Would that be category?
protection, defense,
Would that
exactly,
be okay
exactly.
then? Cool. Go ahead, brother.
That's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just different. You know, the different verbiage. Um, now, did you have network on there?
No, I don't have network. Let me
That's
get that on there.
You got to have network.
That's gonna be the glue. That's the glue that's gonna hold it together, right?
That's the glue that's gonna hold it together. Right on, right on.
All right then. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So now, the first one that we're going to discuss is food. And in any of these survival scenarios or worst case scenarios, a hurricane, whatever, um, the blackouts in Texas, food you're gonna need at least, and this is me from my standpoint. I'm gonna have 2 to 3 months of food put back, right? And that means I'm gonna have a variety of canned goods and dry goods. Now the freezer, that's you can have your freezer stuff, but if the power goes out, then what? We're talking about stuff that's going to be now. I do have freezers and we do have backup power and whatnot, but um, we're talking about stuff that can last a long haul. So your canned goods and your dry goods. What we like to do is like let's just say we go to Costco, we buy in bulk. Now anytime we're dealing with food and prepping, we're talking about bulk purchases, right? So we may just, along with our weekly or bi-weekly grocery list, we may just go get an extra $50 or $60 worth of cans. Throw them in the pantry. Leave them alone.
You saying dry foods and canned goods, non-perishables, right? Is there anything particularly better than
Non-perishable.
anything? I mean, like you would buy extra $50 of what type of cans? Like beans or
Whatever. Beans, vegetables, whatever it is. But
okay,
like I say, when we do it, we're not buying the little bitty cans. We're buying the big cans,
gotcha.
right? Um, because bulk is you save when you buy in bulk. That's the
Right,
first thing. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get into a scenario like that, you're gonna thank yourself for buying bulk, not buying a small little bitty can that you can eat by yourself, especially if we have families. And I'm familiar, most of us have, decent sized families. Um, most of us, me, myself, yeah, I'm looking at you too over there. Shalom, bro. Yeah, so we have some nice sized families. So it's going to take a little more, right? So, like I say, man, we'll do that. We'll go buy extra $50 worth of cans just to throw back. Or if we're at Costco or Sam's, we may see big bags of rice, big bags of sugar, big bags of salt. We grabbing it. You see what I'm saying? Um, because like I said, the longevity of canned goods and dry foods is gonna beat out your refrigerated, your perishables, right?
What about
Um,
non-perishable fruits? Like big cans of peaches are they also good to get or you know what I'm saying?
we get them.
Okay, then
Cans.
cool.
My children love fruit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Now, also with the dry goods, like when I was saying the big bags of beans or big bags of rice, you go to Sam's or Costco, you have these big bags of dried fruit,
Dried
nuts,
fruit,
different stuff
dehydrated
like
fruit.
that.
Gotcha.
Dehydrated fruit, exactly. So, all of these are, because when it comes to food, man, you're gonna want to deal with foods that are going to give you the vitamins and nutrients that you need, right? As well as fill you up,
Right.
right? So that's why I say, your dry fruits, um, your beans. Also with food, man, I'm gonna throw in vitamins. You know what I'm saying? We'll do this frequently too. We'll go get uh the big jar of the omega 3, the what is it, omega 9 or whatever it is, the fish oil
The fish
pills,
oil. Right.
or ibuprofen or whatever it is. Yeah, fish oils. You know what I'm saying? So, you also throw in, like like I say, your vitamins and your medications with your food, right? Another big one with food is gardening, right? Because you want to supplement your cans and your dry goods with your garden. Now your gardens are the stuff that you're gonna have in your garden is gonna be your perishables. You know, your tomatoes, your fruit, your vegetables, your peppers, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's also with the gardening you can. So I want to kind of breeze through these. I don't want to take too much time on either one. So, but that's food. Like I say, you want to have 2 to 3 months food supply.
So let me ask a question then. Look like we lost brother Eliyahu. If I'm not mistaken, though, he should be right back. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the things that the brother is telling us is that there he is right there.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Are you actually saying that it'll be also good to start a garden as well, right? As long as with buying the foods, right?
Yes, because remember when I was saying about the knowledge. So gardening is not just going out there putting a seed in the ground.
Okay, then. Cool.
Right. It takes it's methods and cultivation and memory of what you did one year and what versus what you want to do this year. Greenhouse.
What exactly are you growing?
What you want to eventually.
What are you growing? What do you have growing?
So I'm growing right now. We're kind of letting the garden go now. We're getting ready to the fall garden, but right now we still have all kind of varieties. I think I have about 6 varieties of peppers. Cucumbers, squash. We tried okra this year. Just a few stalks. I just want to see how it worked.
Okay.
We have corn. Well, we tried corn as well. I haven't done corn before, but we tried corn. So I see, what I want to do as opposed to what I'm gonna do next time.
Okay.
We had kale. We had cabbage.
So I think it's also important. Greens. I think it's also important to note that this gardening, though, is for people who got the land and the space to be able to do it. More importantly, buy food in bulk, though, right? Let's hit this music. Let's hit this music break, and then you come back and answer that question on the other side, brother.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, then. The Rock Out Bar.
I do.
Yeah, have a seat. The movie just getting started. Last days. Living water flowing on my belly. Mayaka Allah, cue the opening credits. Get your popcorn, it's gonna be epic. Angels opening seals, I see where we headed.
Do the works, Rock. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it. Negroes are the Jews, yeah, I said it. That's facts. But if you do commandments, you my brethren. Look up, what was that? I can't tell it. It disappeared, it could have been angelic. Light speed, break the gas pedal. Put in work. Level up, I won't dare settle. Put in work. None of my friends is fair weather. All solid. Abba give us strength to weather any storm. I pray they all hear this gospel like it's intercom. Bring it out. Even offline, it's what we really on. All I got is faith in the trumpet like Gideon. It's what they really want. So be it. You know what's crazy about all of this? Our timing is perfect. And I ain't talking about me, I'm talking about us. We got an opportunity to reach a massive amount of souls with the true gospel. Repent or perish. In times, come on with it. Without Messiah, I'm nothing. Plead the blood, my soul covered. He gave me a talent, I'ma make the most of it. That's right. Until time stops. In the streets is that gold color. I might sleep, but I won't slumber. Don't be foolish, I'm getting rest, but my soul's awake. Yes. If I know nothing, we at the end, and that's no debate. No lie. They like,
do the works, Rock.
We gon' motivate and show the lost sheep. Narrow path is the only way. That's right. My worst fears when I reach heaven, they close the gate. Whoa. And the Savior say, depart from me. So we move accordingly, orderly. The kingdom's where we wanna be. I need book, chapter, verse, or it ain't accurate. Stand on what you believe, they say you too passionate. You be the rich man, I'ma be Lazarus. Come on. You either in the light or in the dark, you can't be half lit. Don't drop that plow once you grasp it. Whoa. Yeah. sound of my voice is still time. Who am I to say you can't bounce back? Who am I to say that I won't fall? Take heed, Abba willing I don't fall. And with his help I ain't gone far. But the moment that I feel like I'm above, or I'm better than, the Most High can humble me at any moment. Living water. Look up.
All right. So, Brother Eliyahu was about to go into explaining, were you saying that gardening is not so much for people that got the land or the space, right? But
No, it's for everybody, bro. If you can get you some pots,
okay,
you see what I'm saying? And I'm stressing that because that is the form, that's the most self-sufficient you can get when it comes to dealing with food.
okay.
You grew it, you know, you ain't got no
You know what
pesticides
it
on
is.
it, you know what it is. Exactly.
Son. I don't mean to. By no means am I rushing you, but we only got an hour show.
Hey,
So,
I'm paying attention to my brother, so I'm
okay.
looking like, man, let me speed through this here, man.
Right. So we got food, buy in bulk and buy extra, right? Which will be a sacrifice. Water is water, right? I mean, I know that's something that we practice in my household, man. We keep extra water. Water to me is like 1A and 1B, food and water.
Yeah, exactly. But here goes the difference. Here goes what's the separation. So with water, yeah, you can buy extra water, right? But you also want to make sure that you have a water filtration system.
Okay.
Right? A life straw. And they have things that are comparable to life straw all through Walmart. $25.
I seen them at Academy.
At Academy
like $15.
As well.
Yeah.
$15, exactly. And these things will filter up to 100,000 gallons of water. You see what I'm saying? They're personal, but you always need your plan A, B, C, and D. Right?
How many
so we
gallons?
Got some of those little bitty life straws filter up to 100,000 gallons.
100,000?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Some are advertised to filter up to 50,000. Some are advertised. I can't reach back there and grab mine, but 100,000 gallons.
Okay.
Right now, you go on YouTube. You can learn how to build your own your do-it-yourself filtration system with maybe a bandana, some rocks, some gravel, charcoal, etc., etc.
Right.
The third one that you want to look at, and these are simple investments. These ain't something that breaks the bank. Water tablets or water filtration tablets, right? You drop one in the gallon of water, you let it sit, stir it, whatever the directions call for, and you have clean water. For those who live in the cities or towns, a water key. And water key, these are going to be essential. Just look up what a water key is, all right?
I got one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
I got one.
The last one on water is you need to find an alternate source of water. Other than the house or, you know what I'm saying, you need to know where you can go and collect water, even if you got to come back and left lane closed, okay. Even if you got to come back and filter the water out or clean the water, you still need your alternate source of water.
Gotcha.
All right. 1 second. I'm in this big old traffic jam trying to get over.
You good? You good?
All right. So, shelter. I'm really not gonna, dwell on that. You want your shelter to be secure. And I'm gonna deal with a lot of the security on, your defense, the defense side of things. Now, if you did have to leave your crib or leave your home, shelter can come in a lot of forms: underpasses, on bridges, wooded area, abandoned buildings. But you always got to be safe in any environment. But still, why did they say left lane closed, but it's the right lane at this time? My bad. Okay, so but So let's go to communications, man, because this is a big and I'm gonna make sure I get this communications done. Um, in the event that the phones go down, now y'all should know it ain't gonna take but a flick of a switch, and the nation gonna be out of there as far as communications. How vital is communications? Well, if I live across town from you, you know what I'm saying, and I can't communicate with you to let you know or my family know what the plans are, then everything gonna be in disarray. Especially if you haven't already come up with a plan, which I'm gonna touch on that as well. Networking. So the first form of communication is walkie-talkies, which they'll call FRS, which is Family Radio Service walkie-talkies, right? Which, you know, they may reach up to 100 yards at best. Now they may advertise, 10, 15 miles, but that's not right. The second one you have is CBs, which are Citizens Band Radio, which, truck drivers, most people use these on the highways. Up to, depends on, if you have a booster on it or an amplifier, you can get up to 15, 20 miles with
You
that.
get out there with a CB.
You sometimes.
You can
depends.
get out there with a CB.
Yeah, you can, but you still would have to have a booster on it.
All right, yeah, most definitely, yeah. Right. I just remember when I used to drive. Say, man, them white boys, man, be having they radios boosted up. Them boys be getting out there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know now, what you're doing with a CB, you can get out there with a CB.
The only problem is that the other people that you need to talk to need to have the same type of stuff you got. And most of the time that's not the case. You hear them talking, they 30 miles away, but I don't have the equipment to get back at them. You know what I'm saying? So now you have the third one is GMRS. And these are your intermediate radios. These are the ones that are a little better than walkie-talkies, and they're not as good as what ham radios, right? So now
what do GMRS mean? Do you know?
I cannot remember, man.
Okay, I can probably look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it may. Okay, but anyway, so now these walkie-talkie, these radios, they work on restricted frequencies, so you're going to need a license. Now with this license, all you have to do is send it in, pay for it. You don't have to take a test or anything, and you have a license for you and everybody in your immediate household, right? Now the range on these depends on if you have repeaters in your area, which this is where the signals bounce off of. The range is not as good, as the next category I'm gonna talk about, but it's good enough. You're what do they call them? Everybody's on the highway together. You can talk in between cars from 1 mile, 2, 3 miles apart. Now these with the walkie-talkies, and they also have the mobile units that the power is a little more turned up, so you can talk up to 5, 6, 7, 8 miles away, right? Okay. Now the next segment, now I'm gonna skip that. Let's go to shortwave radio, because these are tried and true. They've been doing shortwave radio since way back when, right? Now with shortwave radios, if you buy the right one, you can tune into the ham frequencies. You can tune into stuff from all over the world. Let's just put it that way. And that way,
it's more like a utility knife.
It's a utility or to gather intel, because you can see what's going on in other countries. Now, it may be the propaganda from other countries, but it gets you away from the propaganda of your own country. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So you can have.
I'm asking because I'm new to this. It's not only a communication radio; it's also a radio that you can use to like a radio.
Well, no. Shortwave. You don't communicate with the short waves.
Okay, then.
This is strictly for listening.
Okay, then
right?
cool. Okay, well, I
Right.
didn't get that. I didn't get that. Yeah, that
Okay.
differentiation. Because we were still talking about communication radios. I didn't know.
Yeah. My bad.
Okay,
My
then,
bad.
yeah.
That's why I
Okay,
said
then.
I'm a skip because I want to go to ham last because ham is this is the one that I'm delving deeper into, trying to get my license as well. Uh, but ham radio, you have to take a test. You get your license, you get a call sign, just like you get with GMRS,
Is
right?
that ham with two M's or one?
1M,
One M.
right? So, um, now with ham radios, you can, and it's not just plug and play because there's other stuff that you have to purchase, things you have to do, tinker with. But these radios allow you to receive and transmit all across the world as well. So you can deal with Russia, Germany. I mean, wherever you want to go, Australia, Jamaica, you can receive and transmit to these areas. Now, like I said, ham is not just plug and play, but you have you got UF, VHF, you have different bands within ham. Let's just put it that way: high frequency, ultra high frequency, et cetera, et cetera. So you have
It almost
three
sound like TV.
somewhat because the TV signals are transmitted through what? Through those waves.
Con.
So it's the same type of application, but it's still a
So,
little different.
so I want to bag up a little bit.
Okay.
GMRS means for the audience, it's General Mobile Radio Service.
Okay.
That's what GMRS is. So to bag up to the communication radios between family members in the event that we do lose power, what would be the best radio to look for? This
Well,
because you gave us family radio service, FRS, citizen band, CBs, and the GMRS. So out of those three, what are the best, and what are price points looking like on that as well?
okay. So out of the three, um, for price points, you can get walkie talkies for $5-10, right?
But
And
you get
that's
what you pay for, though.
that you get what you pay for. And this is why they're called family radio service because these are open
Stations.
these are open stations, exactly, open frequency. So now, to me, the best for family will be the GMRS
Okay.
as far as cost, as far as licensing, because like I said, you pay I believe $50. I may be wrong. It's somewhere around there. $50. You get a license for your entire family. So you guys
One
have a call
license.
sign.
One
One
license.
license.
Okay, then
Right.
cool.
You get one license for the entire family. Then you guys are not going to be separated by much as a family, right? Let's say you have to go down the street, or if you're out somewhere and you want to go wherever, as long as it's not, you're not talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 miles,
Like
right?
what I was saying yesterday when we was talking, my daughter's school is like a couple of miles from me.
Exactly.
So we know that we probably not going to be able to deal with these things because these things are going to be knocked off. But if she's at school, which is a couple of miles away from me, a GMRS from my house to that school, I should be able to reach her. And she should be able to reach me to let me know what's going on.
Exactly.
And we're talking about a 2-3 mile radius, right?
Exactly.
And so is that $50? Is that for a set, like two?
No, $50 was for the license.
Okay. So what am I looking at to buy this particular type of radio then?
I believe I paid. Now I actually found one of the better brands of GMRS, which is called Midland, at Walmart, and I was surprised to find it. And I bought. Now you got to be careful because they also sell the FRS radios, but I found the GMRS radios. Now the family band, I think it's like channel 1 to 6, 1 to 12, I can't remember, but the GMRS has these added channels, right? And it was only $70 for like 2 of them. I believe it was for a pair. So
Okay.
that was a good thing.
Okay.
So the price is not that bad. And now even when we deal with ham, you can find some inexpensive ham radios. Matter of fact, my first one I paid $25 to $30.
Okay. So with the GMRS with the license and a low grade, we're looking at about $120 out of pocket.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
cool. Now you was explaining ham when I cut you off. So go back and let us know what the ham radio, because I know you said you could reach out to like Russia with these bad boys.
Right.
So this is like a cable radio station.
What you say? Cable radio?
This is like cable radio, right?
Right. This is the big kahuna. So with ham, man, it's so versatile and it's so in depth because you can add your antennas, you can add this, you can add big giant antennas. You can talk on different the radios vary from $50 all the way up to $3,500, right? So it's an exhaustive. I don't even want to really get deep into it. I just want to give you the capabilities.
So it sounds like ham. You could create your monster with ham.
Exactly.
Whatever you can afford. If you can afford it, you can do it with ham.
Hey, you don't need. It's not even a. If you just look, if you get you a mentor, they can show you how to get the best out of something smaller or cheap or more inexpensive. You're just not going to have all the features as some of the the $1,000, the $2,000, $3,000 radio transmitters. But you will still be able to communicate if you have somebody on the other end and you throw an antenna up, a good antenna, bro. You can reach out to wherever. But you still have 3 different. Let me explain this to you. You have 3 classes of license for ham, right? You have the general, the technician, and you have the extra. The extra, which is the more extreme, it allows you legally to be able to operate on all the frequencies.
Okay.
Now, in the event of a disaster or an emergency, you're not worried about no license. Now, I got to throw that caveat in. You won't even worry about a license. You get on there and, you do what you got to do.
Right.
So, like I said, man, that I'm going to leave that alone because that's a lot of detail in that. We can make a whole hour video for just one side of ham. Just antennas by itself. Boosters and, amplifiers. So anyway, let's go to the defense because it looked like we're pushing 38 minutes.
Right.
Let's go.
But I also want to before you go to the defense, I also just want to make known that it's important for communication because we never, like the brother said at the beginning of him talking about communication, the way we communicate, especially in America, it's only at a push of a button for them to take it away from us. One thing that I know for sure is that they are constantly in talk on doing away with what is social media. This is something that I learned today, Eliyahu, is that they talking about making people have a license just to post on social media. I don't know if you heard about that or not yet. You see what I'm saying?
No,
they talking about making people have a license just to post on certain social media. So as Americans, the whole point of this show is that we have to understand that the liberties and the easiness that we have had is all in jeopardy right now. So we got to start thinking differently than how we have normally been thinking. Okay. So yeah, you can go finance you a cell phone, $1,000 cell phone, and you can pay it off, you know what I'm saying, in a certain amount of time.
Right.
But these things that we have, they're still at the liberty of the people who is oppressing us. Okay. So it's important that we start thinking on survival now. and stop thinking that everything is okay. So I just wanted to make that known, brother.
Right
Go
on,
ahead.
right on.
Now we're
Right
finna talk
on.
about
So,
defense, right? We're finna talk about what I like.
we gotta talk about defense. And even though we both like this, we gotta make this kind of short. Let's see how many. Well, we might be able to talk about it a little bit. So, with defense, of course, everybody thinks about guns, right? But I'm not gonna start off with guns. I'm gonna start off with things that are gonna make where you are living secure, as secure as possible, right? So with defense,
Hold on 1 second, Eliyahu. I
okay,
do apologize, brother. I gotta run this promo in right quick.
okay.
On Sunday, August 29th in Arlington, Texas, live at Wits, the gold carpet rolls out for the Drip and Sip remix. So go get your pre-sale tickets now at tlhmagazine.net. Yup, RSVP for this righteous party you won't forget. Brought to you by The Light Magazine and Kingdom Culture Radio.
All right, brother.
Oh man, the Drip and Sip. See, I ain't know nothing about that, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. That's the kind of stuff happen when you live way up there in the woods.
Right on. So let me show you what else kind of stuff happen when you live out in these woods. So you get to talk about defense, right? You get a chance to shoot without having to have to go to a fire, the range.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
right? So, but yeah, like I said, with defense, man, it's not just about the guns and the ammo, which that has a lot to do with it, but you want to make sure that your home is secure, because if it's not secure, all this food, water, and everything else that you've scared up like ants for the winter, it's just there to be taken from you.
And I want to make note on that too, Eliyahu, not to cut you off, man.
Mm-hmm.
The scripture tell us that in the verse that we just read in 2 Ezras, that people are not going to have regard for the kings or princes. They're not going to have regard for man, and they're going to be running up in people's houses because of the famine, stealing people's food. So more importantly than anything, and this is not something that the brother mentioned, and I don't know, and if you was, I do apologize. As you are storing your food and storing your water, don't let nobody know where your stuff is at. It's you and your family. Nobody needs to know what you have in your household. That's for you and your family to know, and for you and your family alone. And if you're a person who got a lot of company come by, find out ways how to store your stuff without people who come to your house know that you got this stuff. Because when they cut these grocery stores off, when they cut all of this water and stuff off, people are going to lose their mind because they want to eat. And if they know that you got food, don't think just because you're friendly with them that they won't come up in your house and hit you upside your head for your food. Okay? So I just wanted to make note on that, brother. So go ahead, man.
Well, let me add in on that, man, because what people got to understand is that hunger is something that drives people to do things that they,
normally would not
done.
Do.
So you're gonna look, man. You're gonna have a lot of so-called good people out there busting people's heads open to feed their family. Right? Which brings us back to this defense, because it's going to be dog eat dog out there. It's just common sense. And I hate to bring up movies because a lot of people think they're just movies. But like you said in the beginning, man, a lot of these movies are showing you their depictions of or tests of what's going to happen when, like you say, the food chain is shut down. The network out here, as far as trucking and, when all this stuff shuts down and the system is no longer, it's gonna get bad. You know what I'm saying? So cameras. If you can put up dummy cameras, that's still a deterrent, right?
It make a thief honest.
Hey man, to make you think. Well, I don't know. They might already see me. They don't know. They just see a camera with a blinking light. You know what I'm saying? Throwing sticker bushes around your windows. You know what I'm saying? Just common sense stuff sometimes, you know. But to get into the guns and ammo. So here's just the recommendation. Have several different platforms, whether it be have you, you know, handgun, rifle, shotgun. You know what I'm saying? And have ammo stored, right? Don't, and I'm not just talking about a box of ammo, you know, 20 rounds, 50 rounds. Because after one skirmish, then what?
I got a side note to add, Eliyahu.
Okay.
You know that I believe guns are important.
Okay.
I just like guns. Okay. I just like guns, right? Which I feel like out of all of this that he's talking about, this is probably the one that I am most prepared for out of everything. And I got to pick up my game on the other. But this is the thing. You cannot just go buy guns and ammo and not know how to use them. I don't care if you are in the city or if you are in the country.
Thank you.
Go and get you some lessons. Go and get you some lessons. I'm going to repeat that because you have to know how to, you have got to know how to handle your gun. I don't consider guns as weapons. I consider them as tools, like my screwdriver, like my pliers. It's a tool and it works wonderfully if you know how to use it. You know, so that's especially you ladies. There are so many ladies out there that are single. You probably don't like guns. Get that out of your head. Go get you some lessons. Go ahead, Brother Eliyahu.
So, what he just said, go get you some lessons. I'm going to say it again. Go get you some lessons. Or practice. If you can't afford lessons and you know you got a space where you can go shoot, man, go practice. This ain't the movies. This ain't Die Hard. This ain't none of them Will Smith movies where you can slide across the floor and do backflips and
TV make it look so easy, don't it?
I mean, make it look so easy, man. You ain't got one eye closed. You just, you know, everybody got Uzis and you got a handgun. You shot everybody before they hit you.
I want to make this note here too, though. At most ranges, I don't know if all of them, but most ranges, you don't have to own a gun to shoot a gun. Most ranges rent out guns. So with that being said, you can try the different platforms, the pistols, the shotguns, and the rifles. But go ahead and I'm done, brother. I just want to make that known for the people that there is no excuse. You can train. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So like I say, man, you know, and it's once you get into it, you'll understand there's more to it than just grabbing a gun, putting the magazine in, cocking and squeezing the trigger. You need to learn gun safety. You need to know how to clean your gun. You need to know steps for if your gun malfunctions. It's a lot that goes into that. Also, let me go ahead and throw this in here. Medical. We need medical. Even with the guns, you're gonna need tourniquets and this and that because with gunfights come gun wounds, gunshots, death. This, like I say, this ain't the movies. This is real life, you know. So, and that's the same for just in general. You need good medical kits all around your home. You need a good medical kit in your vehicle. If you can, you need to learn some first aid. You know, Heimlich maneuver, whatever it is. How to put an IV drip bag on somebody, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. So medical is crucial because you can't go to the hospital when it's shut down. You know, those people at the hospital is going home, they family.
What are those drip bags? What are those drip bags made of, man?
Man, I got a friend of mine that's in it. I don't know what they're made of. But you can get them on Amazon.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe he was telling me because we're looking to to get a lot of them. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot, but we need some. You know, when I say we, I mean my network, which is something that I want to. Let me, matter of fact, let's leave the defense, because we understand you have to defend your home, your food, your family, right? So let's go to
Network.
I'll skip travel. Let's go to network, right? So what we have in place is a network of like-minded individuals. I'm just gonna go ahead and explain it. And with our network, we're all building, right? So there are some things that certain people are gathering now, along with their own little personal, for their family. They have to gather this for the network. Let's just say, like I said, a friend of mine. So he's looking into acquiring a bunch of drip bags, the needles and everything else to go with it, tinctures, different medications. We have another individual who's into the self-defense, right? So he's going to be teaching self-defense. Now, with the network, I am going to advise that you guys come up with a legit plan, not just a bullcorn plan, or you think you playing army men. You're talking about a legit plan where if something happens, an event, come up with an event. If the event happens, everyone should meet up at this place. Let's just call it checkpoint A, right? And once we're gathered at checkpoint A, what we're going to do is discuss whether we're going to go ahead and implement the plan that we have already talked about, or we're going to rectify that plan. We're going to tweak it. Maybe 2 cities around your city, there are major riots and it just went haywire. Police, no one is responding. So you want, okay, well, if it comes to our city, what do we do now? Well, we go leave this spot and go to, you see what I'm saying? I'm just running, just like a blueprint. Have a blueprint. That way, when something happens, everyone can know what to do. If the communications go down, I don't have to call Shear Your Shoes. You see what I'm saying? To see
You're being proactive.
I'm being proactive. We already know what we're going to do. And a lot of people say, man, that's kind of extreme. No, not looking at how the climate of the world is right now. Venezuela, South Africa, Italy, everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Here.
Philadelphia.
You see what I'm
Philadelphia, California. I mean, there are cities right here in America right now. I mean, we all unrest. Don't get me wrong, but there are some that are at more unrest than others. They just not reporting it on the news. So, and as you see what's happening in the world today, this is a worldwide catastrophe.
Right.
This is not just here in America. This is because it's a reset. And this is the whole point of this conversation, is that we need to be prepared for the reset.
Right, exactly. Remember what happened in Texas. Of course, you're in Texas. You know what I'm saying? The power outages. Now here's the thing, bro. Let me put this in right quick.
People, if you wasn't in Texas, you have no idea, man, what went down up in this joker. But go ahead,
okay, man. See, and that's what I was about to say right there. We see now. Hold on. We saw that a lot of people died in this, but we're not getting the backstory from individual families or individual households on what they went through. Because if we did, we understand why we need to implement things like we're talking about today. Because people lost their life for not being prepared. Being prepared. Bedding, extra bedding, lights, generators. This is a lot of stuff I'm not even going over because
we went 3 days with no power.
You see what I'm saying?
Sub-degree temperature. 3 days in this house right here. You know what I'm saying? So
now
and I don't believe the numbers. I don't believe the numbers that they gave out. I believe more people died than what the numbers say.
Exactly, and that those are temporary. But when the circumstances are extreme, even temporary could be life-threatening.
Exactly.
Now, if these people had been prepared, they had flashlights, if they had lanterns in the house, if they had alternate sources of fire, making fire, If they had go bags, they could have went to their go bags and pulled out equipment. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm stressing the importance of being prepared. And there are a lot of aspects that I can't even dive into. But I will say this: I'm going to start a YouTube channel as well as an Instagram page where this is what I'm going to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, man, people, all you got to do is YouTube the stuff. Don't think these people are kooks. Matter of fact, in every movie, the person that they thought was the kook always was the person that told everybody what was about to happen.
What was about to happen? Exactly.
How ironic is that, man?
Exactly. I think we as Americans, man, we too soft because we depend so much on luxury. Even our poor people in America is doing better than people that's in what we consider third world countries. You know what I'm saying? You look, man, I see some homeless people, man, you know, fattest people who got jobs. Because this is America. You dig what I'm saying? And so we have never seen wartime on this soil. Never. Mm-hmm. And we don't expect that these things can happen. But what people don't understand is that with every beginning, there is an end. That's the whole point of the show. It's all unraveling. We are at the end. And I asked my brother to come on and to share this knowledge, this wisdom that he have on this, because this is stuff that we need to know. We need to at least get to thinking about it. Because once we get to thinking about it, then we'll be able to start putting some action into it. This is how I know we are unprepared. We living in a time where whatever freedoms we thought that we had, they taking them away from us right before our face. And you can get on TikTok and you see Negroes doing what they call the milk crate challenge. You walking up crates about to bust your head wide open, and instead of realizing that the whole world that you once knew is being taken away from you. This is why we got to have these type of conversations. Now, this conversation is not for everybody. Everybody not going to receive this. But for those who have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. I appreciate this, Eliyahu. I'm going to hit those points again in case somebody forgot them. Food, water, shelter, communication, travel, knowledge. Knowledge can be summed up in all of this stuff because you're going to have to educate yourself on all of this stuff, right?
Exactly.
Defense and networking. And defense, as the brother pointed out, is more than just guns. Defense is making sure that your house is secure, making sure your children are secure. For husbands, making sure that your wives are secure, right? That's what defense is. Also, medical bags. With food, you didn't mention this. MRIs. You can buy MRIs off of Amazon. Meals. MREs, exactly.
Right.
Meals ready to eat.
Exactly.
You can buy them off of Amazon. You can buy big boxes of them all the way down to little small packages of them, right? Exactly. We just want to survive, man. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to survive because the thing is that they are turning family members against those who is not following protocol. I'm not going to follow protocol. I ain't got no problem with it because I ain't never followed protocol before in my life anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that was training me for these last days. I've always had a problem with authority. So, hey, this ain't nothing new to me.
Hey, bro, before we wrap it up, man, one other thing, and I got to put this in there, travel. We need to have our vehicles ready in case of event.
There you go, brother.
We have to have those ready. I have to have my truck here ready in case there's something that happens where I can't get to the house.
Or
I need to ditch my vehicle and get out and foot it.
So it's important to have extra cans of gas.
It's important to keep your gas topped off. And if you can, if you have an SUV, look like a country boy, throw a gas can on that. It'll save you.
It'll save
I know
you.
All
Make
of
sure
us
your
have
tires
seen
are
people.
good.
Make sure your tires good. Make sure you got jumper cables. Make sure you have a power bank in your car. Power bank is simply something that that you can charge different equipment on. Right, your phones, whatever, in case that your vehicle is down.
Right.
Like I say, man, that's just make sure that it's secure, man. You can go on YouTube. There are a lot of videos about how to have a go bag in your vehicle and what kind of vehicle
you can buy them go bags too off of Amazon. A lot of this stuff
already
you can
made
get from Amazon and stores that us as black people don't like to go to, like Kabbalah's, Bass Pro Shop, Academy.
Those my stores.
These are the stores you need to go up inside of, people. These are the stores where you're going to find this stuff, because what you don't want to do is wait till the hammer is dropped, and then you be like roaches in the kitchen when the lights come on.
They're going to die anyway.
They're going to die.
That's what I want to stress, man. And it's sad to say a lot of us are going to die. This thing is going to happen. And only those that are prepared spiritually and physically are going to make it. Period, point blank.
And also, I want to make note of this before we get out of here, is that none of this stuff that we have named off that Eliyahu had brought to our attention for survival, none of this stuff mean nothing if your faith is not grounded in the Most High. Because I'm not going to depend on no gun to save my life. I'm not going to depend on no amount of gas to save my life, no amount of food. I'm not going to depend on none of that, right? That's why the scriptures say, be wise as serpents, yet harmless as dove. Wise as serpents mean that I got to prepare myself. That's what wise as serpent mean. You know what I'm saying? What I look like trying to go to Dallas and all I got is $10 in my wallet. And I'm just going to hope I got $10 and a half a tank of gas, and I'm just going to hope that the Most High get me there. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that, right?
Perfect example. Yeah.
When I decide that I'm going to go to Dallas, I know it's going to be on this date. Then that means that I got this time to that time to prepare myself to make sure that my car is right, make sure I got money, make sure I got somewhere to lay my head when I get there. That's the problem. Now, if something happened in between there, you know what I'm saying? I might get a flat or something like that. Hey, but I'm still prepared for that.
Cool. I got something for you. Any questions? Was there any questions? Because we said we're gonna have some questions. You have any?
Well, I asked mine. I asked mine during the show. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to rewatch everything because I was running my errands while I was doing this, along with my phone keep cutting out because it overheated. It's hot in Texas, ladies and gentlemen.
Hot in Texas.
My phone.
You better be ready then, boy.
So, Texas. Yeah. So Yasha said hey, either it was gonna hit in the winter. You better not hope it be in the winter. For us in Dallas, I hope it don't be in the daggone summer.
Man, what did you talking?
But no, I'm gonna hit you up with questions later, man, because it was some bullet points that you touched on. I want to talk about.
Okay, that's for sure.
Cool. This has been Truth Be Told Flex Podcast. We had our boy Buck up in the booth with us, man. Hey, it's good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is good to see you. Eliyahu, Yasharal. Episode number 24. How are we going to survive in Jacob's time of trouble? And it is on us right now. With that being said, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, hold on. Because it ain't Thursday, bro. It's Wednesday. And it ain't the 26th, it's the 25th. Am I tripping?
You tripping,
You tripping.
Man, it's not Wednesday.
No.
It's Thursday.
No.
Today ain't Thursday, man.
Hey, you tripping, brother. Hey, we'll explain when we get off the radio.
We'll explain when we get off the radio. All right, bitch.
All right.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom, right?
Shalom.